Yes, good evening, scalpers, true scalpers, and we're on to gold. Welcome to our end of session little live stream here. We're going to have a chat, do some market analysis, and hopefully do a little bit of scalping, true scalping, as we say. We're the Mohawk Forex scalping team, and if you want information on how to join our group, then go to www.mohawkforex.com. and all the information on how to join our VIP Discord group and get access to our Axe system, which you can see here on the screen. All the information is there. So welcome to everyone who's joining us tonight. And yeah, we're going to have a look at gold. Obviously, we're doing our small account challenge, which obviously is just $50. Well, actually it's $49.68 to be precise. I'm just going to show you that so you know not the crap. There we go, $49.67 is what we've built up after taking some profit for ourselves for some nice bottles of wine. To not run the gin and tonic, and I've got a nice Charmaine in front of me. True live scalping. Here's gold on the chart. And we're going to see if we can get a few trades. We're using IC Markets as my broker, where I've got a leverage of 1 to 500, and this is our Axe trading system that you get access to once you join our group, which is a complete indicating system, 3 indicators, so you don't need to pay for anything on TradingView. Everything is built into this. This is just one setup that I use to scalp. There's many other systems and setups within the 3 indicators that you receive. I've got the RSI scanner, which is the settings are unique to us, with a divergence indicator, overbought, oversold, and we've got Heikin-Ashi candles with our baseline and with our grid system, which gives us support and resistance zones based on Fibonacci and previous heavy resistance and support zones. We have a daily chart here that tells us the bigger picture, the overall daily volume of the thing we're trading, the instrument we're trading, the current volume, the volatility, the bull and bear power, the market phase, trend, and the overall what it works out at. So here we're trading gold with 1 hour to go before the New York session. We've had a great day today, amazing day, amazing day. One of the best days we've had for a long time. Trading on our bigger accounts. We absolutely smashed it today based on all the economic news. Which you can see here. We started, because we're fundamental traders, here we use the news to give us the volatility and the trigger to enter micro scalping trades to get in and out of the market. It started last night with the Aussie and the Euro in the Asian session, and then we backed that up with trades based on the PMI, the DAX this morning, and the French PMI and the Euro PMI. GBP we ignored because obviously it was interest rates decision, which obviously everyone sort of sussed they were going to hike it to 0.5, and they did. So obviously we stayed out of any GBP pairs and FTSE 100. Gold spiked amazing on it, but I didn't trade it. You know, you're better to keep out of those kind of news events. Wait till things settle down. We had the ECB talking about their interest rate decisions. Obviously, they've decided to keep things at 0. I'll log in again here. Textbook is what I use, even though it's been a bit glitchy this week. A bit slow. You get that sometimes, but compared to others, it's still, I think, the best one for getting the economic news as quick as possible. So, then we had, after the ECB interest rate decision to keep rates at 0, we had our favourite pre-market initial jobless claims that we trade every single week. So on this one we took, as you can see, it was overall, it was bearish. News was bad, so we took sells on gold, which we cleared, and then on the open we took the buys on gold in the reverse and took wins on that. 50 minutes later we took sells on gold on the market PMIs and got that, and then finally 3 p.m. we went for the factory orders over the PMM and got some buys back on gold, and that's where we're sat for the day. So we had a fantastic day scalping on the bigger time frame. I think we've done about 25-30 trades and there was no losses, completely green on the screen, which is what we like to do. You can see the news was on gold. It's glued to 1800. We know that's our magnet, our zone. And gold did dip crazily due to all that news down to 1789. Here's where we bought. You can see on the system here, as soon as we see our blue zones indicate heavy support and resistance, this is where I loaded my buys in, and actually that cleared me $1,000. And the guys in the group saw that result, and no BS. That cleared me $1,000. I did 4 trades. And that was it. I was done. You know, that's more than my daily target. But I just knew such a big drop that it's news led. You know it's going to bounce back, and also no gold is going to aim back to that 1800. It was just a case of waiting. I even entered trades in down here for buys, took a bit of drawdown, and was back up. And that was trading a $5,000 account. Nothing huge by any shakes, but ended up plus 1,000 for the day, thanks to that move on gold. Can't do that on a small account. That's the shame thing about it. But we're sat here with a load of wins and only a couple of losses in the last trades we're doing our small account challenge. We're still sticking with 0.01. Tomorrow obviously is NFP day, and this is the biggest news event for us of the month. Looking at Bloomberg and just checking in on Bloomberg as well. Obviously all the news on Bloomberg is about Meta, Facebook, about providing stocks. I think he lost 24 billion, was it? Personal wealth. Amazing. We like to keep an eye on the news. I've got it all the time on one of my screens. I've got it here sharing with you. But yeah, basically tomorrow is NFP day, as we know. We'll start off the morning with some factory orders on the DAX, which we'll try and trade, and PMIs as well, and retail sales, consumer confidence. But the main thing is the NFP. Got the results here, and some are predicting 0. Can you believe it? Some are predicting actually 0. Last month, if you remember, they were predicting up to 1 million. It was ranged between 250k and 1 million, and in the end it was 199. We got a great win on it both ways. We traded the initial move on gold and then the reversal as well, and it ended up being 199. It's great. They're predicted to be 150, so always looking for buys on gold. Remember, we're going the reverse. This is the only news event where we trade the actual way we're meant to trade, no kind of pre-market manipulation, because it's such a big news event. Usually we would pump gold with the way of the news. And we will do, but not initially. Initially on this, if this result is say 50k or 0, we will buy gold, wait for the peak, wait for it to hit our grid, and then sell. And if you're doing US 30, obviously you go the opposite, and then we go the opposite on the open. So NFP tomorrow, we're going to be live for that. And tonight's stream is just really a bit of analysis and chats if anyone else wants to join in. I don't think there's going to be any trades. We're looking at gold live now. As you can see, it's pretty much tight between support and resistance zone. We're thinking gold wants to get back to 1840. That's what we're aiming for, as you can see. Got to break this zone here. So RSI is dipping down to 56. This is our scanner. Usually we take trades once it comes into the neutral zone and bounces back. So if this RSI dips in and comes back, we might take a cheeky little buy, but we're not going to get much other than a few cents really. I'm looking for 10 points, 100 pips, 100 pips, 10 pips, 100 points, and 137. So again, if this was a sell, I would not only need RSI to break the neutral and our average line, but also go red, and also at the same time we need price action to actually break our trend line, and that isn't going to happen really with an hour to go. We can stretch this out a little and zoom in, but as you can see, there was a nice sell here that you could have taken by cross, break on the trend, and then it went back to the neutral, came back out, another sell, quick in and out because you've got the blue zone. It was the buy, RSI pops up, breaks, bang, away you go again. And then here again, you could have taken a nice little cheeky buy, literally sort of like 10 minutes ago, just before we came on air, and could have got 50. And again, this time of night, I just look for 5 pips. I'm not looking for the big win because we're in a low volatile state. Punching my chow mein while we watch. Gold there looks like it wants to pump. Again, we can measure that. Look. Maybe get 5 pips. Maybe just a couple of pips. Could still dip. Well,
it's crucial Congress provides cities with the tools and the money that's needed to supply police with sufficient resources to do their job. And as for saying tougher gun laws violate the Second Amendment,
when the amendment was passed, it didn't say anybody can own a gun and any kind of gun and any kind of weapon.
Biden told New York Mayor Eric Adams he can count on him to help fight gun violence. Michael Bloomberg, the founder and majority owner of Bloomberg Radio, is a supporter of groups that support gun control, including Everytown for Gun Safety. Well, while guns have been the focus of the president while he's in New York City, the White House is taking new action to shore up the nation's cyber defenses.
The Biden administration is forming what it's calling the Cyber Safety Review Board. It's a panel of senior administration officials and private sector experts who will be tasked with investigating significant online failures that affect government, business, and critical infrastructure. According to Dow Jones, the board is loosely modeled on the National Transportation Safety Board, though it will have 3 times as many members. Its first case will be the Log4j bug, which was discovered back in December by a Chinese security team. In Washington, I'm Nathan Hager, Bloomberg Radio.
There's now a new mask controversy, but it's not what you may expect. During the taping of an upcoming episode of The Masked Singer, Rudy Giuliani was unmasked as one of the contestants. According to Deadline, judges Robin Thicke and Ken Jeong walked off the set in protest after the reveal. Global news 24 hours a day, on air and on Bloomberg Quick Take, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in more than 120 countries. I'm Nancy Lyons.
I need a meta margarita.
Yeah, well,
that's going to be my hashtag
only 3
today.
o'clock, so.
Yeah, but it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Isn't it?
Yeah, definitely parts of Canada, I think.
All right, so.
Like really far eastern
It's cold
Canada,
there.
Nova Scotia, maybe.
Can we talk about DoorDash and Shake Shack?
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a date, it's probably a good place to start, right?
Yeah, so apparently DoorDash and Shake Shack are hooking up to launch a limited-time spicy dating site. Singles can eat cute, salivate over 2 unique mouth-watering promotions.
DoorDash. Oh yeah, gold is definitely trapped in a range at the moment, so it don't matter what size account you got. If I was looking at a big account, medium account, small account, there's no trade there.
You know, this promo material, right?
Yeah.
It can be frustrating, but you do get the trades, and if nothing else, it's good to analyse when not to trade, because then you know when to trade. If you just look at a screen all the time and a chart and you have absolutely no idea, and you're clicking just buy and sell, obviously you're going to lose and blow the account. But with this system, at least this tells me, look, RSI is in a dangerous zone. I need it either to dip into the neutral zone and become a sell, or pop back out to be a buy,
Well, I don't know. My husband
or
and I knew that.
I leave it alone. And if it goes into our overbought zone, our first one, which isn't really overbought, I call it a continuation zone,
Don't you remember, like, the first time you
I
go
would take a trade there. And then if it goes into the 85, that's where I start loading up my sells, waiting for the reversal. But obviously with like 45 minutes to go, the chances are very slim. I'll be down to Asian session. There's no kind of late night news tonight. Like I say, the market is waiting purely for the NFP. We've got the Australian Bank monetary policy statement in 4 hours for those of you trading the Asian session, 30 minutes before Asian opens, but that's about it. But really it's kind of like flat news really. There's nothing really major.
For a limited time.
You don't really want to be trading this euro retail sales or the Danish, I think it is. You know what I mean? The higher impact, but only really for their own country. Just, and the euro really doesn't do anything. If you're going to trade anything, the DAX, but even against medium, and because of its NFP, it's very, well, it's more risky than normal. So really tomorrow's all about waiting for the NFP. As you can see, look, the Dow's finished 1.2 down, SP5 200, and now, so really there's been a massive crash today, based on all that news. That is the issue. News led. The bigger picture news is what's leading the way. NAS is dropping even more. In fact, let's have a quick look at NAS, even though we can't trade that on our small account. See on our chart here. It's what relates to. So you can relate it, you see, even on a small time frame. People think this has got no relation to the bigger world. The Bloomberg and this is my big time frame, my 1 hour, weekly, daily, monthly, whatever you want to call it. And then we narrow it down to what we're seeing here, and we're seeing, you know, 3%. So we'd be looking for buys on NAS, and we just need to find a decent support zone. And here, look, is where I would, you know, if it had been on this a few minutes ago, I'd be on a buy there, and again up to our blue zone, because that is a heavy resistance zone. So this is what you've got to do, is wait. If you saw these candles rage along the bottom, you'd be popping the buys in, and then you can see it's 40 pips, look, already in profit you would be on that. Once it gets to our neutral resistance zone, this is where you can get a rejection, and you'll get that formation most likely of some kind of a W like this. You'll draw these patterns, and then you would literally wait for the second leg. You get a rejection down to there, maybe it could go lower, don't know that, nobody does. And then a break back to our breakout zone. So that's what you could be looking at on NAS. Into the group. You could be seeing there. And that's how I analyze the charts. You know, I'm using the bigger picture news with our Axe trading system to give me an idea of where and where I shouldn't trade. Now if RSI hits that, breaks this 63 zone that I ironed out as a resistance zone, look, bang, 1 2 3 4 5, broke there, false breakout on the RSI. If it breaks here and breaks there, that's a chance of a buy. Comes back down again, wait for it, and then wait for this leg here. Stick back on gold, yeah, it's dead, gold's dead. I mean, look at that, look at the candles, no. And when we get the cross and our trend lines to appear, we know that's a no man's land. You know, we either want to wait for gold to break below into this zone here or break above. So it's unfortunate, it happens, but you know, sometimes you can't always trade. And it's knowing when not to trade keeps you on profit. Means I can have a chow mein. Bloomberg there watching, look at that, 3%. It's a big drop on NAS.
Markets, headlines, and breaking
And most of that
24
caused by
hours
Facebook.
at Bloomberg.com, the Bloomberg Business app, and at Bloomberg Quick Take. This is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
From Bloomberg World Headquarters, I'm Charlie Pellet.
Got some good trades today.
Stocks tumble. Facebook at the center of it all.
There we go, so we'll listen.
Platforms cratering now by 26.6%. Let's head right over to the First Word breaking news desk for today's afternoon call. Here he is, Bill Maloney.
And good afternoon, Charlie. U.S. stocks are sinking today, like you said, helped by that plunge in Facebook. Dow's currently down 374 points, S&P's dropped 88, and NASDAQ is lower by 429. The U.S. 10-year yield at 1.82%. Gold is little changed. WTI crude oil topped $90 a barrel for the first time since 2014, and Bitcoin is down by 1.1%. Among the main 11 S&P sectors, only consumer staples were in the green, and leaders to the upside in the Dow, UNH and Procter & Gamble, while Honeywell and Salesforce, as well as Merck, led to the downside. After those earnings, Facebook fell as much as 27%. That's the most since its 2012
Good crude.
IPO. And
Breaking
Spotify
above that
fell as
90.
much as 19%. In
Crazy.
other news, StockTwits says it's adding live trading for its users within its platform. And wrapping things up, it's another busy night for earnings with Amazon, Ford, and Clorox reporting after the bell. Live from the First Word Breaking News Desk, I'm Bill Maloney. Charlie.
Okay, we thank you very much, Bill, and to hear live breaking news over at your Bloomberg Type Squawk SQUAWK on your terminal. I'm Charlie Pellet. That is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
All right, so how's your day going? Not so great if you are Meta Platforms, also known as Facebook. Company shares experiencing a one-day.
Well, thank you. My day's gone
the
great.
worst in stock market history.
Scalping is the
Mark
way
Zuckerberg
today.
losing some $30 billion in net worth as well with a stock plunge like this.
It's like unbelievable. And we've seen a great story on the Bloomberg. Naomi Nix putting it out about Mark Zuckerberg actually talking to his employees. Let's get more from Bloomberg News tech team leader Sarah Fry. She too has an interesting column that's out. She's on the phone from San Francisco. She knows this company so well. She's the author of No Filter, the inside story of Instagram.
Sarah Fryer, it is great to have you back with us. I remember from reading your book close, at this point, close to a couple of years ago, the book about Instagram.
Amazing how this has affected the whole market. Gold, everything.
Mark Zuckerberg is so paranoid about competition. How do you think he's feeling right now, seeing that Facebook user growth has stalled and that TikTok is a real competitor where people are spending, especially young people, a lot of time?
I mean, this is his deep fear that he's had at one of the reasons that Facebook has continued to grow for so long is because of Zuckerberg's paranoia, the growth team that he has basically monitoring every possible reason that people could have to leave Facebook and trying to fix that as soon as possible.
Yep.
And one of the reasons for that is the network effect, the thing that made Facebook so powerful, the fact that if somebody uses one network, other people are more likely to use it. It has also a cascading negative effect. If people leave the network, it suddenly becomes less valuable for the remaining users. And so Zuckerberg never wanted Facebook to reach the point where it gets into a death spiral. And this could be that point. So I think it's very concerning to people at Meta, and I think that's why they're putting all their eggs in the metaverse basket.
So Facebook
Be interesting. This
saw
could be
this
it.
coming because of what it sees in the internal data, and perhaps because of the pivot that it announced a few months ago of going into the metaverse. You've covered Facebook for years. Is this the most pivotal point that you've seen for the company from a business perspective?
I think so. I mean, I think listen, they don't have a lot of options. In the past, maybe they could have acquired a great upstart social network to breathe new life into Facebook. They can't make the kind of acquisition right now because of antitrust pressure. They could pull some levers to get people to share more, but they've already done that. So I think it's really hard for them, especially when you consider that their ad targeting is going to become less useful. It's going to be less easy for them to tell advertisers how well their ads performed because of Apple's changes to tracking, asking users to agree to tracking, and a lot of users are saying, no, don't track me. So this is
interesting though, very interesting.
Multiple SSL threats.
Like I say, that helped, you know.
And
that's part of the reason we had all these drops.
The
NAS, gold, everything.
Copycat product, which is real.
This is why as traders you've always got to be aware of the bigger picture. And most people think, oh, what's Facebook got to do with trading? You know what I mean? I hear it, but or it could be anything, any company, any tech company, any stock, any share, any business.
And then there's the
all it affects us as scalpers.
The latter is something that
so being aware of it
all of us to
is key.
To live and work in a virtual world, which is
and that's why when these news events maybe don't go our way initially,
I'm not ready to leave the real
it's
world.
because there's a bigger news event that's overridden it.
We just
there's always a reason.
And we're talking about Meta, Facebook with our TV colleagues, and Romaine Bostic bringing up that maybe it's time that Mark Zuckerberg steps aside running the company. Maybe there needs to be some new people coming in. We've seen this at a lot of these, whether it was Google. I think about when Eric Schmidt.
I agree.
You see this.
You need to have somebody young take over.
For a moment.
New ideas.
Is that something that we need to be thinking about, or should be?
It depends how bad this gets. We've seen Zuckerberg pull up from a downturn before.
Yeah, look, so we're not going to get any trouble. I've got 30 minutes to go. I mean, if I can if I could do a trade, I will do. You know me.
It does seem
sorry, but
who else is going to be the one?
Sorry, when you're dealing with a small account, you've got to be a bit more pinpoint with your entry.
More than $3 billion in operating.
And I hope anybody watching, any of the team, would know that there is no trade in this zone. You know what I mean? This is a. But you can't be frustrated, like I say. You know, with the system, you've got to know that this is telling you don't trade. Like I say, a lot of people would plug into this system and go, oh, okay, RSI's green, whatever, and ignore everything and just take a buy or sell, and that's how they blow accounts.
Right now, I've got about 40 seconds left here. What do you ask him?
I just want to know.
Ask him for some money.
If he really that they can afford to put products like.
No, seriously, on gold, if gold is going to reach the heady heights of back to 1840 as it was before, previously a few days ago, then obviously it needs to break our zone here. And that's a good thing about the indicator. When we see these blue zones closing on anything, doesn't matter what it is, it's stocks, shares, whatever. These are basically telling you, look, it's a micro scale, or just avoid the trade. Wait for the zone to be broken. And look, we've even got a breakout zone formed now. Our red and green zones, dotted lines, is our breakout zone, our range. You can see it's been ranging ever since kind of
worst day in the company's history by far.
4 p.m. this afternoon, so 5 hours. Gold's been basically in a range. There's been a couple of little scalps. You could got a little sell here, a little buy here, a little buy here. You know, it was the big move, sell, and then the big buy. So I caught, obviously, and won the money on. This is a good thing about the system. It tells you, you know, don't trade me, don't trade me. And only if RSI dips into the neutral zone will I reload and get ready for another trade. But not now. I mean, look at the size of the candles. When you see this price action, you can zoom in. It doesn't matter how big you zoom in. You know, you can see why the hell would you trade any of this? If you're really desperate to get a couple of cents, you know what I mean? You could maybe get a buy, maybe get 1 pip, 2 pips. Look, it's just not worth the risk. Black line, the KG line, our baseline here, look, is a decent support. Then you've got support below it for the points of interest. Then you've got support from our blue zone. You've got support from our trend line. So the chances of a sell are less than chances of a buy. But on the buy, you've got the trend line and the blue zone here. So that's how you kind of use the system. And it doesn't matter where it is on the chart. That's what you respect. So you might get 5 pips, 4 with the spread if this bumped up, but there's no, unless something happens in the next 20 minutes, there's no kind of news to force this up. And RSI, as you can see, just streaming along nicely, smooth till the end of the session. When you see all this is when you just go, okay, I'm done for the day. Or if I was about to trade, like I was about to try and take some trades with a small account, you sit on your hands, you know. it can't always be. I just always think there's people who stream or go live and there's always a mega trade winning $1 million. I don't know, is it? I mean, it's just, you know, the market doesn't work like that. It doesn't trade when you want to trade. It'll trade when it tells you to trade. Now we've got a pullback into the neutral zone. Okay, this is interesting. Now we might get a bounce off our baseline and then up, in which case, oh, we might be able to get a buy on the way back up. Let's see. I might have spoken too soon. I might not be able to get a trade. Again, I'm only looking at cents here. You know, I'm not going to be buying my Bentley tomorrow with that, but that's not the point. The point is, if you had a bigger account, you can micro scalp and get that. You know, practice on a small account. Don't get stressed about it. Winning the cents will lead to winning the pounds, dollars, tens of dollars to thousands of dollars. Trading and using the system the same way. You never ever change the way you view the system or how telling you now how you generally get in and out of the trade. The other thing that changes is you can afford a bit more drawdown because you've got a bigger account. That is it. So RSI is back into 50 and dropping. Look, going to hit our baseline, and again, nobody's going to take a sell here unless they're the idiot and want to have the risk of blowing an account, well, or blowing a few dollars at least. You're not going to count, because again, if you did enter, to show you, just you enter a short here, your profit's probably going to be, you know, other side that baseline here. So you're looking at maybe 30 pips. And where's your stop loss? Well, it's either going to be there, yeah, you know, more likely for me to be there. Blue zone of the last swing, yeah. So I'm risking, you know, you're never going to get great risk to reward when you're using this setting. You want to walk away, that is scalping. If you want big risk to reward kind of ratios that, you know, may or may not come off, then you look at the 1 hour time frames, 4 hour daily, etc. But for scalping, get used to this. This is what I live with for the past few years, and it doesn't bother me because that's what I'm prepared to risk. I know if I'm watching my chart, I will get out the trade way before price action hits that blue. And once it crosses the trend line and finishes above it, I'd be out. I'd be looking at the RSI. If the RSI is like, you know, I'm looking to take a sell here, but the RSI is pointing up and going green, I'm out, you know. Well, this is a ultimate stop out. This is, you know, if you've absolutely got to leave your charts, got to walk away for 3 or 4 hours or whatever, then this is how you set your stop loss using the Axe system. Obviously, the whole idea behind this system is that you watch the charts live and you get out the trades if they reverse on you, you know, depending on your account size. But on this, you know, 46 coming down. It breaks this, then hey, it could be a sell. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of like trying to. I mean, I had a W here. Look, trying to M out. Smaller W than that bigger one. Test. Second leg. Just in. Go. Had not quite a double top, but it's had a bit of a retest down to our middle.
Broadcasting live
Come back
from
up a
the
little
Bloomberg
there.
Interactive Broker Studio in New York. Bloomberg 1130 to
They
Washington.
don't always form symmetrical. They're not good at price doesn't work like that. As you can see, look, we could get this.
San Francisco, Bloomberg 960 to the country, Sirius XM channel 119, and around the globe, the Bloomberg Business app.
RSI 45.
BloombergRadio.com.
Is it going to break off here?
Is Bloomberg Business Week.
If so, we might be in for a sell.
Yeah, I know. Well, what are you referring to?
Well, I just feel like there's a lot going on, obviously, in the markets, the economy, the outlook. We're still dealing with COVID. We've got a Super Bowl coming up just about 1 week
Let's
now.
see.
And then you've got a big
See if we can get at least one
lawsuit,
trade away.
facing the NFL.
Yeah, we're going to be
By
joined
45,
Chris
the
Dolan,
RSI is going to
reporter
cross.
for Bloomberg News. He's going to join us from the Manhattan Federal Courthouse with an update on
Again, you're only looking at a small distance here. You're
on
looking
the
at
lawsuit that's making waves
back.
in the NFL.
All right, we're going to get to that in just a
2,
moment. Let's
3
get back to the
pips,
markets.
nothing
Scotty,
major.
We're just coming off. It looks
Few
like our lows
cents.
here, but still, man, Charlie, down across the board.
Yeah, now we're bouncing off the bottom, Carol Master. We've got the Dow, the S&P, NASDAQ, right to the numbers. I
They all
got to
bounce
begin
off the
with
bottom.
Facebook, Meta Platforms, FB down now by 26.91%. Facebook incredibly important, but also, too, the implications for Amazon earnings under the microscope, and that's putting it mildly. Amazon right now down 7.5%. We're going to be all over those Amazon numbers as they break right here on Bloomberg. Right to the numbers, we've got the Dow down 406, drop there of 1.1%. S&P very close to session lows, but again off the bottom, down 94 right now, drop there of 2.1%.
Let's see if it breaks.
NASDAQ down 465.
This could be our
That is a
only
drop of
chance of a
3.2%.
trade, of a little
And again,
scalp.
The big number, the big story everybody wants to know about Meta Platforms Inc. Facebook plunging now by 27%.
Ooh.
Also after earnings, Qualcomm down 3.4%. Spotify, another
27%.
stock today.
Wow.
It is down now by 15.9%. Stocks are tumbling as investors digest disappointing results from Facebook owner Meta Platforms and concerns about consistently and persistently high inflation from the European Central Bank. So it is a down day for the Dow, the S&P, and NASDAQ. 10-year yield right now, we've got the 10-year yielding 1.82%.
Come on, gold. Come on, break for us.
West
Give us a
Texas
break.
Intermediate crude oil up 2.2%.
Even get us a little scalping.
90.23 a barrel, and gold
RSI, will
down
it bounce
1/10
off the
of 1%,
45 or will it
18.05
break
the
it?
ounce.
Bounced
Sweden is
here, look.
lifting coronavirus restrictions beginning next week. France's health minister says
Kind
the
of
country's past
retested. Look at
the
him
worst of the
bounce. It
latest
broke
wave.
there.
New Zealand set
Bounce,
to relax its
retest,
long-standing
bounce. Yeah.
pandemic border restrictions beginning at the end of February. So
We get a little
how
bit
soon
of green,
until we start getting
we'll
similar
grab it.
announcements here in the U.S.? Dr. Chris Beyer is a professor of epidemiology at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health.
I do think that
News.
we will, as a country, be in a very different position, certainly by the end of February, early March, because if, barring another variant with even more transmissibility or immune escape than Omicron,
Tumbled, Meta's
we
biggest
will be
one-day
coming out on the other
plunge since
side
tech.
of all
Yeah,
of
there you
those
go.
regional spikes. And I think, as we've seen before, and hopefully we'll see
The
again,
news to
warm
post.
weather is going to change the dynamic as well.
And Dr. Breyer is with the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health, supported by Michael R. Bloomberg, founder of Bloomberg LP and Bloomberg Philanthropies. Again, Pfizer shares down 1%. BioNTech, its German partner, down 2.5%. AstraZeneca down 2.9%. The ADRs.
Gold gonna
Moderna
break a little bit.
Massachusetts down 2.4%. J&J, Johnson & Johnson down
Tried.
just about 1/10%.
Really
As
good
you
move.
run your portfolio numbers, keep in mind Mark Zuckerberg's wealth dropping as much as $31 billion today.
Ooh.
Again, $31 billion. I'm Charlie.
Wow.
That is a
$31 billion.
All right, just 1 week from now, Tim and I are going to be out in sunny LA just ahead of the Super Bowl and at the Bloomberg Power Players Summit. It's a gathering of who's who in sports, including NFL team owners, players of all sports,
Is this
agents,
RSI gonna break?
broadcasters, and so much more. No doubt, we will be talking about the explosive lawsuit filed by former Miami Dolphins head coach Brian Flores.
This is where it's good to watch.
Let's get
I
some
think.
reporting on this.
Watch
and
at
what the owner of the
RSI. So
Dolphins
this is where
now
you would
saying.
you can
With
you
us
know
right now is
back
Bloomberg
test
News
the
legal
trades.
reporter Chris
doing the
Dolmetsch. He's on the
where
phone
you would
from
get in,
Manhattan,
sell
Manhattan
there.
Federal Courthouse. Hey, Chris, nice to
sell
have you here
there.
with Tim and myself. So what
Might
is
nip in
the
on a
owner
sell
talking about?
there,
We're
look.
talking about Stephen Ross.
And then
Yeah, so Mr.
buy
Ross is
here,
vehemently denying the allegations in the lawsuit.
buy. Wouldn't sell there, look, because you didn't break the average.
Offer Brian
Yeah.
$100,000.
Obviously, we're looking to take a sell here.
To lose, basically, the
Breaks.
tech, so that the team would have a worse record.
So they're kind of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades, look. And then when you
He's saying
match it with price action, yay, that was a win. Yay, that was a win.
He's promising to fight these allegations.
That was possibly a
In
win
the
or a
lawsuit,
break
Flores
even.
does
Depends if that
allege
blue
that
zone was there, I
refusal
would have
to tank
taken it.
games led to a clash
And that was a
with
win.
Stephen Ross, who was
And
mad
that was a
that
win.
the team won 5
Again,
games that season, costing them a chance at
even
the
if you
top
take at the
overall
top of the
draft
candle,
pick.
look.
I mean,
5 pips.
Chris,
Time night.
first of all, these are big allegations. It's interesting. I've
One
seen
here.
an interview with Brian Flores on CBS. I
Again,
mean, to come
5
out,
pips.
you know, when he was potentially up
Yeah.
for maybe other jobs at other
Yeah,
teams.
5
I
pips.
mean, These are big allegations to make.
That one.
They're huge,
Pips.
and I mean, as he said himself,
This one.
this is a huge professional risk. He doesn't really
B,
expect to work in the
again,
NFL
2
after
pips.
this.
And the reverse, but you get out. So that could be the only losing trade, maybe a break even, or maybe you wouldn't take that one. You'd definitely take them others, and they're all winners. That's our kind of one-way system. You can use this, just using the RSI with price action to wait for.
But whether or not this goes anywhere, this lawsuit is a huge shot across the bow of the NFL, whether it succeeds or not. This is an issue that has been plaguing the league for decades. And they've been, accused of not hiring black coaches. That's the whole reason the Rooney Rule exists.
And that's the big part of his lawsuit, right?
Correct. The Rooney Rule is.
So we're going to see if this RSI will break.
Because they don't actually
Dip
hire
down.
black coaches.
Nice.
He says he, got a
Well, actually, it's just broke a little bit.
Yeah, and Chris, as you
Bouncing
know, the
back
Giants,
up.
Dolphins, and Denver
And push
Broncos are
down.
co-defendants in the lawsuit.
Got a
So you
blank.
mentioned,
This is what I
Chris,
like to see when
doesn't
it's
matter whether this
goes
lawsuit
green
anywhere,
and then goes
it's
blank,
drag
and it's
on
waiting for the next move, which could be green or red. You see the trend bar, look. Goes blank, 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 then goes green. Bang, 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 trade, 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 trade. Then goes blank. Wait. Green. So, interesting to see. Here's our re-entry points for sells here. And then here's where you would take the buy where I did. That's where I took my buys. Going aggressive, loaded more buys when it went green, and loaded more buys when it came out the zone again. Perfect. You're just going to sit and wait for all these setups all day. And as long as they're not sat on a support and resistance zone, take the trade. Grab the green, get out of the trade. See now, look, RSI's bounced. Broke, didn't break. Still dipped down again yet.
I've forgotten the other teams. But,
The Bengals?
Don't forget
The
the
Bengals.
Bengals. My wife is going to be very, very angry, Chris.
The range now, though, look.
all Cincinnati people should be mad.
I gotta
It's the
say,
end
all
of
the
the day.
playoff games, it's easy to be like, wait,
Well,
who
we're gonna get a
finally won it?
trade,
Because
but
it was such
I
a
was
toss-up
hoping-
in those playoffs. Hey, let's.
If it
Chris,
pushes off
Chris,
this trend
just
line
20
down,
seconds left here. Does he have to get the other members for this to ultimately become that class action and have some bite real quickly?
He does, but his lawyer Doug Wigdor said that he has other people ready to sign on. Others have said they have coaches that can kind of similarly, prove these same allegations. So there's a good chance he could get other people in here. Whether he'll get a class, different story.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to watch. Chris Dolmetsch, legal reporter at Bloomberg News, on the phone from the Manhattan Federal Courthouse.
Well, let's head to Washington
push
DC
it up,
for a
look.
check the latest world and national news with Nancy Lyons, who I just learned is a Bengals fan.
bounce.
Right. My husband is a
Got 15 minutes left till the open. Till the close. Wishful thinking. Been on it so long today. We've done a good few hours scalping today, so it's just to relax end of the day. No trades taken, like I say, at the moment. I was hoping for a sell on this, but it just didn't work out. Like I say, the blue zone became, as we suspected, a support zone. Pushing back off that. Again, it could drop. It could still, still 15 minutes.
The Biden administration
So this is a nice little move, and we've got a trend line. This is a good thing about this. I've got a trend line. You zoom right in.
Civilians were also killed, including the leader's wife and 2 children who died when he detonated a suicide
You can see up
bomb.
close. And the move,
President Biden is in
move,
New York City
small,
this afternoon,
small,
where he's been
smaller,
addressing the recent wave of
indecision.
gun violence and the
Now,
loss of 2
and again, a
police
push
officers who
down.
died after responding to a domestic disturbance.
And we're just looking for
Their loss
2 or 3
to me
pips,
is
nothing major.
a loss for the nation.
Biden says detectives Jason Rivera and Wilbert Mora exemplified the best of the NYPD. The opening ceremonies for the 2022 Winter Games will be held tomorrow.
That's good
The
though. See
president
that
of the
look?
International
Big
Olympic
candles.
Committee,
Bye,
Thomas
bye, bye,
Bach,
bye,
says
bye.
their
Smaller,
Chinese
smaller.
hosts are keeping
Final
everyone
push, final
inside
push.
an Olympic bubble to
Reversal.
reduce COVID-19 outbreaks.
And then you're indecision. It's like, okay, this is where, if you're just trading price action, this is where you would load the sells in, because you've got the blue zone, you've got the pattern you're following, you've seen it weaken and then drop. Aggressive scalpers will get in for that candle and then bang. And the same here, look, comes down, get a nice move, you think, this is going to be a continuation, we get the rejection.
Thank you so much.
Then it's
Tim
1,
Stenberg,
2,
I love
3,
when you're
4,
like,
indecision,
how can this not
push
be the
down,
most
push
read
up,
story on
indecision,
the
bang.
It is,
Bye.
however, the 4th most read in the past 24 hours.
Okay, good. We're talking about Bezos and his ship, right? Or ships.
Ships,
Yeah, because it's 2 ships.
It's
His new
huge.
yacht is, get this, Carol.
Yep.
The masts on Jeff Bezos' new yacht they're so big, the sails are so big that it's dangerous to land a helicopter on this ship. So he's got this other yacht, as Brad Stone has reported, that follows this yacht around.
That's how it works. It's called a dinghy.
No, this is not a dinghy. This is like a moving helicopter landing pad.
Just being
okay. Yeah, I mean, you're a sailor, so you know this stuff. So I don't
Crazy.
know.
In my world, it's a dinghy, and it's really small, and it's inflatable.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is not. This is going to be able to accommodate at least a helicopter.
All right, so it's a 417-foot long sailing yacht.
Hey, Carol, is that
Wow.
long for a boat?
Yeah.
470 foot. Oh my God.
Is it a football field? I don't know. I'll have to figure this out. 417.
Yeah, it's more than a football. That's longer than a football field.
So 417-foot long sailing yacht. It's codenamed Y721. Love that it's got a code name. It's being built in the Netherlands. For the boat to reach the ocean, it will have to pass through Rotterdam and navigate a landmark steel bridge known as De Hef, a lift bridge. De Hef's central span can be raised more than 130 feet into the air, but that's still not enough to accommodate the yacht's 3 giant masts. That's a lot. So the city has agreed to temporarily take apart the bridge's central section this summer for his yacht to pass through, according to a Rotterdam spokeswoman.
Okay, it's kind of expensive to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Rotterdam said that the city is not going to foot the cost of the demolition. The folks who will foot the cost are those building Bezos' yacht, Oceanco. But it's likely some of those costs will be passed on to Bezos. He is the second richest person in the world, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, $175.8 billion.
I have gone under bridges. I have had bridges that had to be
go up.
Yep.
That's wicked.
Fall and they raise it, but you got to wait. But I've never had a bridge taken apart to get through.
There's got to be symbolism here with public infrastructure.
Well, listen to our weekend show. There's an author of the book called The Davos Man. You're going to want to read it.
Brilliant. That's what we all aspire to. Have bridges dismantled for us for our yachts. That's your motivation, guys. That's why we try and trade. We all want that. Well, I'll have a dinghy actually. That'll do me. I don't need a 470 foot yacht. About 10 minutes to go. Say, unfortunately, there's been no trades. You can see it's spiking down, ranging 46. Might push down again. This could be the last move. Let's see. Is it going to push down a little bit? On grey, back in again. All red. B, now it's broke. Now it's broke red. That's what I'd see. That's a nice last minute move. Yay, 42. It's gone under. Come on, push down. Let's have a little move down to that 1805 zone. Nine minutes to go until the end of the session. Hey, oh, I got 11 cents. There we go. I managed to get one trade for the end of the stream. Fantastic. There we go, just to show you. I did it. I got in. So there you go, 11 cents. That's 8 pence, 11 cents. So there you go. That could be $10, could be $100, depending on your account size. Again, I'm just showing you an example with a small account. Again, just I got in, you know, here. As soon as I saw that break, and that was it. And I'm out of the blue zone. Why I'm out? Because of that blue zone. if price breaks the blue zone, it could do on the end, but these zones hold up pretty well, so it could reverse back now. 42, go back up to 43. If it breaks below here, doesn't matter, could have taken a win. There you go, so that'll do. That was a win. Our one and only trade, but we did it. And it's like I say, it doesn't matter what, you know, that could have been $1,000 account, in which case that had been a $10. Okay, that's still $10. It's still a win in a bad setup, bad time of night, but it just shows you what to look for. Because I drew the pattern out, I watched price action, I watched the RSI, and I knew where to get out the trade, where the sensible place to get out the trade is. That's what you got to do. And if you can do that a few times a day in the volatile periods, London, New York, you can earn some money.
Lows of the day, 13 minutes to go ahead of the closing bell. Stocks tumble, Facebook stumbles, the bears rumble, and the bulls grumble, with the S&P down now by 107, drop there of 2.35%. Key takeaway, lows of the day. We've got the Dow down 505, down 1.4%. NASDAQ hard hit down 507, down 3.5%. The catalyst for all of this, Facebook after last night's earnings report. Meta Platforms down now by 26.6%. CEO Mark Zuckerberg rallying the troops today, telling his employees to focus on video products after they watched the stock crater, losing a quarter of its value. Again, Meta down now by 26% after the bell. Amazon under the microscope. Amazon shares
Crazy.
down now by 7.3%.
As you can see, look, I did the right thing getting out, because look, it bounced off our blue zone and we're back to break even. See? That's how you use this time and time again. Doesn't matter time of day, whatever, you use the system to help tell you when to get out the trade. That's why you don't do this rubbish 3-to-1, 4-to-1 ratio and I hope it hits it. You use proper support and resistance zones that are coming off a system. What this is telling me, look, you can see here, look, here's zone 1, 2, break, we test. At least 3 times it's hit that zone, so it becomes respected, and here again it's doing it again. You know, could break again, but you don't take a sell now till it's broke that blue zone down to here. This is where you'd be looking to take a sell now, down there to our breakout. Vice versa, if it's a buy, I would be waiting for it to into the zone here. We'll wait for these little pockets and then take the trade. And if it goes against you, you've done nothing wrong. The market just decides to stick one to you. But you've got to be prepared for that always. But at the same time, you're edging your bets in a good, giving yourself a better chance of winning a trade by looking at this.
Without further delay. This editorial was written by the Bloomberg Opinion Editorial Board. I'm David Shipley. For more Bloomberg Opinion, please go to bloomberg.com/opinion or OPI and Go on the Bloomberg terminal.
This has been Bloomberg Opinion.
I'm driving in my car.
How about you let me drive?
Oh, no.
We've got 5 minutes to go.
Honey, please, I'll do the driving. Drive on. Excuse me, I want to drive.
It's the question that drives us.
This is the Drive to the Close.
That funky music will drive us to jump
Drive to the close. We're nearly there, guys. We're nearly there. Long day.
Minutes left in today's trading session. It's been another wild week. We are at lows of the session. You just heard that from Charlie Pellet.
In both business travel and expense, consumer travel, cross-border transactions, and addressing the huge business-to-business market.
We are literally 4 minutes away from the end of the day. Gold is set. Nice, and look at that, you see?
Right, and who
What's it good I got out of that trade and got a little win? Because it's pumping back up, as you'd expect. Ranging off our average base, off our average RSI line, and bouncing off our support line. This is what we get.
One of the things that happened since this summer is
it breaks,
the
take
small emerging technology companies, especially in that software area, had been.
No, technically it didn't really break, look, so I should, I was cheeky there, just wanted to get a trade in to show you guys on YouTube that it can't be done.
Enabled software. And here we think that they're basically the company that allows access and control over entry into apartment buildings. They're probably about 30% of the new apartment buildings. a small emerging company, but it's got probably a backlog that's
Like I said, that's where you exit the trade. I always exit the trades when the blue zones form. Simple as, you know what I mean? And that's the thing. Yes, they could break, but like I said, they're respected zones. This is number one to me. The points of interest are number two. Any of those can be broken or retested. But when I see the blue zones, they're historically more stronger on the system, so that's what you would look to get out on.
This is a company that's providing the software for a lot of the medium-sized chains.
That's why, you know, I took the trade. As I say,
labor can be used so much more effectively.
Been beaten up. It's down about 21% this year, as we've seen a lot of these names under pressure. Tom Plum, be well. Good to check in with you. Tom Plum, who's President and Chief Investment Officer over at Plum Funds, on the phone from Madison, Wisconsin. All right, folks, just got about 3 minutes left in today's trading session. And they do repaint, you know, they do disappear, obviously. The price comes down to this zone here and breaks it, this could disappear. That's fine, but look at that, you see. Well, it's great that I took the sale, got out the trade, and now it's reversed and I would be negative now, whatever, $1 or whatever. You know what I mean? And now, if this was not about to end, you'd be looking to take the buy, as I said, from there to there. Obviously, we're 2 minutes away, where you've got to just say, I will wait for the Asian session.
Beyond the Bell, Bloomberg's comprehensive cross-platform coverage of the U.S. market close starts right now.
And right now we are 2 minutes away from the end of the trading day. Romain Bostic,
and yes,
Rigs counting you down to the closing bell. Here to help take us beyond the bell. Our global simulcast partners, Carol Masser and Tim Senovich. We welcome our audiences across Bloomberg
crypto,
Radio and YouTube. And Carol, let's get right to it. Looking at a NASDAQ 100 down 4% here on the day. The S&P down 2.5%.
Yeah, really rough, certainly in the equity going. We're
stocks
focusing on that. What's interesting is stocks are down, bonds are down too, and I guess Taylor's going to talk about this as well, but I think also problematic, no doubt about it, are those higher yields.
Yeah, Romain, you mentioned the NASDAQ 100. We're seeing the biggest decline in the NASDAQ 100 since September of 2020. So
if we look at, let's pick something, let's pick
I mean, you could argue that today is sort of another reflationary day. We've talked about the ECB and the BOE really pivoting.
They've used on crypto,
the global central banks all
exactly the same. On crypto, you really want to be on a 15-minute time frame. If you switch to 15 minutes, give you a better kind of setup.
You're not seeing a safe haven bid.
Yeah. Exactly the same.
On a 10-year. Isn't that below where we were?
And if you flash in the RSI, it's trading this particular crypto Polygon. You know, you'd be looking at buys there, nothing there, buy there, and sell there, say, and say a buy. Yeah. So, loading price action, yeah, you would get the buy on the next candle there. That would be one winning trade. Again, to a breakout zone, next points of interest or breakout. So you've got a re-entry here, look. That would be a bonus trade. You'd actually re-enter again there, 2 buys. And then nothing here, look, range. Cheeky buy here, look, and again, yeah, you're getting on that. And look, just straight away, you know where you're going to get out of the trade, that breakout line. Because it might break it, it might not. Chances are you get a retest, and there it is, look, it bounces off it. So that would be a little winning trade, again, whatever that might be. Crypto, 52,000, whatever that adds up to. The sell, look, as soon as you'd hold that, thinking it's coming down to the points of interest line, and then as soon as you see the blue zone form, bang, I'm out. So you'd either get out of it here or here. Then the buy, look, green, bang, and again, points of interest, trend line, breakout zone, there you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 winning trades there on a 50-minute time frame on Polygon US dollar. And that's how you can use this. But definitely stick to 15 and above if you want to use this on crypto for options are what we do, and indices and gold, silver, oil, gas. We've been trading this on 3 minutes is perfect.
regulates only telecoms, hardware, and equipment, and food and beverage.
Amazon sales.
See there, look, we've got a lovely drop. A retest on. That's one big W pack. It all came down there. Look at that. There was your middle.
Net sales number
Ooh, and then look at that.
That's pretty much in line with what the street was looking for.
The W, but look at that. Ooh, what a spike. NAS just, the bottom just fell out of NAS. And you'd follow the RSI, look. Even though I'd be looking for a buy, if I saw that candle and the RSI break red, there is where your trades would be on NAS, look. You see there, then you'd re-enter, go there, then on the buyback you could be aggressive and go green there, or wait for the break here.
We say we've got to unpack what happened with Metro on the day, where you saw a $252 billion market value erased. That is the most we've ever seen in history of these U.S. equity markets.
Gold.
You've been so cleanly
Now finished.
What sort of a fall we see in Amazon if indeed their net sales
Zoomed right in.
Just real quickly here, their 1Q operating income, and we're going to double check to make sure these comparisons are right, but they're given a range of $3 billion
can see.
to $6 billion. The street was looking for $6 billion. So the guide on that
On green.
on the sort of the bottom end
Our trend line now redrawn. That's a
that
good thing about the trend line, is they redraw. As the market moves, it redraws. So
that would be a pretty big miss, but you look at the share reaction.
stick with it. For now, I would take a sell if RSI goes red, breaks below our average. You've got free air right down to the blue zone. You've got an area where you know, this is where you could be. Yeah, so I just go to 3 minutes. Bang. Like that.
And inflationary pressures. These issues persisted into the first quarter due to Omicron, but despite these challenges, yes, we're excited.
So I want to wait for it to break. But RSI is now green and break into the upsides. Get to that so you can see.
Yeah, the Prime news is huge as well. It shows that Amazon has pricing power, obviously. But look, Prime
Basically, the M hasn't happened yet.
2018, it was $119 a year. The monthly cost for Prime is
Yeah.
going up too.
If this was not the end of the session, it could well have come down to here, but it stayed there. You know, it's fine. Fine, because you're doing small W's and M's within a bigger picture. So now, this was continuing. Look at that. Gold now pushing on up. And where would your TP be? Where would your goal be? Your goal's going to be just below the zone. Against the zone, remember, stay safe. And again, you can measure from the top of the candle, and you're looking at, you know, 3-4 pips. It's a micro scalp. Nothing amazing. RSI 62. You can see here where you can draw a line across the RSI. Look where it's hit the zone. Retest. It's here. Look, one broke, came back, touched it, dropped, touched it, retest. But that is a key zone for the RSI, which I love studying as well. Most people don't even realise it. But, you know, if RSI breaks here, then you've got a good chance of it hitting here. So you decide to go in, grab a few dollars, whatever, and get out the trade. If it breaks the blue zone, you go to our breakout zone. And if it breaks all this, then we're going up again. It's like a ladder system, like I say. So, you know, just look what's in front of you. And if that's what it is, that's what it is. Don't go, well, gold's going to break this zone, definitely. It's going to break this zone, definitely. Yeah, maybe. Maybe in a day, maybe in the next session or whatever. But in that meantime, you could also get bounces down. Is your account strong enough to, is your heart strong enough to take that? And that's the whole thing about this system is micro wins every single time. Consistent small wins add up to big wins. That's what it's all about. You can see, look at that. There you go, look at that. Look at the RSI. As I drew it, look. Doing a bit higher, look. Right, there you go. Bang.
Are we still thinking that this is a logistics company more and more?
That, see? Amazing. Did it there. False breakout there, look. Range, and again, there's always zones, but look, there, again, there. So it's a key area for the RSI to give you momentum, to tell you to enter a trade. And look at that, it's come off it, bounced down off it. Now, I want to take in a buy under any circumstances, whatever time of day. I want to, believe you me, I want to take a buy. We all do on this, and try and just nudge that and grab a couple of pips. Or now it could be 5 pips. Well,
32. You go down the
And the market is now for us low. Oh, can trade it on IC markets. It's dead zone now, but you can look and you can see it's just one big massive range. RSI, and again, another thing on the RSI, when you see that pattern, this the V, the mountain pattern, pretty much like the market cipher, and the guy using the market cipher, all you guys know about market cipher and how that there's the indicator on there that does the same thing, where when you see these peaks, these mountains, they're always areas to sit up and take notice there's going to be some kind of major reversal. And that's the same thing. Look, when you get that one, look, sell there, look, sell here, now look, sell,
that's
you know, there,
February 1st that
sell, not this one, but when you get the big V, the big kinks, the mountain, you can see there, look, sell, there. Was that a sell or buy? No, wasn't really, not strong enough. But again, you wouldn't lose. You wouldn't lose because you would be, you know, your stop loss would be above the breakout zone. So you would have got a win in the end on that. Again, you just hold out for it. There's no reason to get out the trade unless price breaks above this zone here. And then here, look, it's breaking down. Again, I wouldn't take this trade because of the time of day, but you can see the RSI is going grey back into the neutral. Again, you can use that. There's different ways you can use it. And there are guys who trade market cipher, like looking at peaks like that. It's very similar.
It's all about user growth and engagement, and we know that time and again.
You'd be on the top of that candle, look, and you'd have been 5 pips. And that's what you want to look for this time of night, 5 pips.
Is that why you were saying that so much of this had been priced in, and that maybe isn't as bad as feared?
You go to clear all that off the chart, so you can see the wood for the trees, you can see the W pattern, and you can see it's trying to test for an M. So I think this is going to come down a little bit, maybe bound to our breakout zone, or it can use it on an upward trend. I'm thinking post this into the group to follow, so everyone can follow.
Bad people were expecting after Meta, yesterday.
And the share price increase, pretty eye-popping here, up 22%. We should point out the shares had fallen almost 20%.
So keep
so kind of taking us back
watching gold.
A couple days ago, we've been sort of wringing our hands all day about Meta and just the broader sort of social media space here. When you look at names like a Pinterest and to that extent Snap, which I think we're still waiting to get those results here, do you see them as a little
we use stop loss, of course. Like I said, if I'm watching the chart, I'm using my stop loss as I'm watching it, because I'll get out of a trade before anything hits my stop loss. Like I said earlier, if you were taking say you were taking a sell on this now, look, and you were going to set your take profit just before the breakout zone, which you want to be doing, where's your stop loss going to be? Well, you can look left, look at the candles, look, the above the blue zone here. That's a good place to have your stop loss. Here's the last high, here's the last blue zone. You want to be just above it so you don't get spiked out. In fact, you could go in the middle, but that would be your stop loss if I was walking away from this. I do use stop loss, but I just don't always set it because I'm watching my charts.
So the Nasdaq 100 link QQQ gaining 1.2% in after hours as Amazon beats as Pinterest shows significant growth in its share price after hours of some 18%. And for all of our hand wringing that we're then going to see whether or not Snap can live up to. From your perspective, Taylor was so eloquently putting some of these worries about analysts as to what pullback in advertising means for a global growth story. Do you have any of those worries?
Yeah, clearly, I think if Meta is guiding to, mid to high single digit, it shows the ad spending is decelerating. I'm going to cut you off because we're getting Snap earnings. I apologize for doing that. Let's take a look at this. Fourth quarter revenue comes in. Looks like an improvement, 1.3 billion versus estimates of 1.2. Fourth quarter adjusted EBITDA, 326.8 million versus estimates of 179.
Yeah, if I'm walking away from the chart, I would use a stop loss, set it like that against the points of interest or blue zone. But if I'm watching the chart, I will, if I would be out of a trade. And why would you wait for it to hit this if you was watching the chart? If I'm taking a sell and it goes touches the blue zone, I'd be out probably 110 pips before. That's the way to do it. if you're at work or whatever, you've got to go shopping, or you're having a shower or something like that, or whatever, and you're walking away, then then set a stop loss, obviously.
Android is higher. Apple is the one who has rolled out all these IDFA changes that has.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're exactly right. The new spike isn't going to hit my stop loss because I'm going to be trading the spike. The spike is my trigger. Whereas most traders are scared of trading the news and, don't trade for the next hour, either side of the news and all that I hear all the time. To me, that's when I'm taking the trade. The news is my trigger because I'm looking where I'm going to be buying or selling. So yeah, you're quite right. If you're watching the chart, you don't need to preset a stop loss because you're going to be out before it hits it. If I'm sat here and I'm going, right, I've set this, as you can see now, the green and red zone, I shall, by the 10 commandments, only end my stop loss when it hits that. And that's what some traders do when people backtest systems, which I hate. It's like, well, I've set it, so that's what I'm going to do. It's like, well, no, you can see it's going to reverse on you before it's a stop loss. Why the hell aren't you getting out sooner? It's crazy. Anything automated, I'm just, I wish everything was like that. I really do. And when people backtest systems and slate them or whatever, they backtest them wrong and it's all automated, and the market doesn't work like that. Like I keep saying to the guys in the team, the market owes you nothing. It doesn't owe you a 2-to-1, it doesn't owe you a 1-to-1, it doesn't owe you a 0.5-to-1. It is what it is, and that means if it's 1 pip, it's 1 pip for that trade. If it's 10, it's 10. But what you need is a system that tells you that. And this is the good thing about the Axe trading system, is it tells me I'm only going to get 1 pip, or could lose 5 pips to whisk 1 pip. So do I take the trade? That's totally up to you. And then other trades, it's like I'm going to get 100 pips or 10 before it reverses on me for a loss of 20. Okay, I'll take the trade. And that's why every trade is individual and has to be based on its own merit, not on some kind of, I only take trades that are 3-to-1 risk to reward. You will lose, and it might work swing trading, but it doesn't work scalping. And a lot of you want to learn to scalp because you want to earn money quick, fast. You don't want to mess around. You haven't got the time to hold swing trades and you don't want to. And that's what I'm trying to show you, that this is a way you can, this is the system you can do that with, but you've still got to know about the economic news that's around you, why things are reversing on you, and when to get out of the trade, get into a trade, and more importantly, when to get out of a trade. And that's what this does.
Because they are the bellwether for social media ad spending, and the scale at which Meta operates.
If there's a whipsaw action, I know it's going to happen. Like on the opens. On the opens, I know I've got a good idea of where the direction's going to go based on pre-market news, on the bigger picture news, or whether it looks oversold or overbought in the pre-session. But I also know it will whipsaw either way. So this is the good thing. Most people go, man, I hate trading whipsaws, but that's good because it means if you get the trade wrong, you could still win. The DAX every morning, most of the time, this is 80% of the time. Again, not always, because sometimes markets will open and literally just go in one direction. Very rare, and that's usually when there's some big news event like today, Facebook and stuff, that will take a market instantly one way and there won't be any kind of pullback. But on most opens, you get the whipsaw. Now, I love that because it means I've got a chance to, if I think DAX is going to sell in the morning for, say, 10 pips, I also think, well, actually, because there's no kind of big trigger to take it that way, the full 3 minutes, I'll get a whipsaw. So I'll put a trade in the opposite way as well. Only half the position. So if I'm looking to get 10 pips profit on a sell on DAX because I've analysed it to be like that, I can always put 5 pips in to go the buy, the whipsaw, and guess what? I win. So don't be scared of whipsaws, just understand why they happen, and when they happen, more importantly. Now, sometimes they can happen out of the blue. We know that. I've had an account blown, it's just, there's something, whatever, a news event. I'm talking about market open whipsaws and news event whipsaws. Like tomorrow, NFP, right? Everyone's scared. People get scared senses of NFP. Oh, NFP, don't trade. You know, it's the best time to get a trade. I know I'm going to get in the trade late because the news comes out. Price will move before the news comes out. That's manipulation. But I know there's still headway to get in on that trade. And then if I miss it, totally miss it because we're really lagging, I know it's going to drop down. It's going to pull back. It's going to whipsaw back before then continuing the way of the news. We know that. That's what happens. That's the manipulation. That's what the market does. So if you go, oh no, I've missed NFP, I've missed the announcement, oh, I'm 1 minute too late. Don't jump in. Wait to hit a next level on our system here, points of interest, lose zone, then take the opposite. Then get out. Then wait for it to pull back. You'll see me do it tomorrow. You'll see me do it tomorrow. So, you know, yeah, holding bags, nah, you know what I mean. Take the green on the screen and get out. You know, I don't believe in all this, you know, oh, you're not holding your trades long enough. Who says that? Why? Because someone who wants you to lose, because they're jealous, because you're winning. I'd rather win than I do, you see it 20, 30 times a day on small trades than try and hold out for 2 trades that I've got to, you know, be nervous about for half the day, might or might not hit my golden analysis. And don't get me wrong, sometimes they do. You know, yeah, you're right, diamond hands. So, you know, there's nothing wrong in having paper hands if you want to sell and take some profit. Look how many people have probably lost money trading Bitcoin, Dogecoin, you know, and all that because they've been accused of not having diamond hands. And now look at it, you know, when it was 60 cents Doge and people going diamond hands, diamond hands. Oh God, it's 14 now. I've just lost it all. You know, why do I listen to everybody? You know, bloody hell, take profit. Man, if you've got green, take the profit. Because there's always another trade. There's always another trade every single, well, 5 days if you trade in commodities and stocks and shares and Forex. 5 days of the week. Crypto 7 days of the week. So don't be scared to just take in micro wins. It gives you the confidence of the trader that you're doing the right thing. Don't listen to other people. Don't even listen to me. Yeah, I'm doing this for entertainment. You know what I mean? I've just got a system that works for me, works for some of the guys in the group. And, you know, we want to share it with people. If you want to trade like we do and bag some pips, this is what I'm here to teach. You know, I'm not saying it's going to make you a millionaire, but, you know, if you do this right, it can, you know, it can do all right for you. But you've got to be of the mindset like I am. And that's the hard thing. It's mindset, trader's mindset, because everyone's telling you different. There'll be 50 people telling you opposite to what I'm telling you. Fine, do what they want to do. I'm just showing you that this works and works for a lot of people. Anyway, that's my rant over. And as you can see, look, gold is now breaking. Now, look, this is a time to sell gold. You know, this is a good.
Let's get to Charlie Pellet. I know he's been.
Where are you going to go to? Could be that zone here.
Well, hello there, Tim. Lots going on.
And if I'm still locked out on it, let's have a look.
14%.
This is the dead zone, remember.
We've been reporting Amazon is raising the annual fee
Oh,
for its Prime
saying about
subscription
Amazon.
service in the U.S.
Raising subscription fee. Oh my God.
And $39, the first such increase since 2018. Increases
Ooh.
are widely expected because the Seattle-based company has incurred billions in margin-eating costs to make sure that packages get to customers amid supply chain bottlenecks.
Let's see. This looks like a good price action.
The
Good
big
move.
story today, Meta
39.
Platforms. Its one-day crash now ranks as the worst in stock market history.
Wow.
The Facebook parent plunged 26% today following poor earnings, putting it on track to erase about $252 billion. Other companies reporting after the closing bell. Snap first quarter revenue forecast beat estimates, shares surging almost 36%.
Good, 37. And again, look, you've got a zone here. You've got a zone here where you can look at getting out the trade or re-entering a second trade. Look, you can see there. There's your line. Bang. There you go. If you want to see this as an absolute move into the bearish territory, you want to see, and again you can just zoom in on this, you want to see RSI break that.
Intensifying in the final hour of trading with the S&P dropping 112 points.
You go, about there.
2.4%.
If RSI breaks this, there's a chance this is going down to our first oversold zone.
Down 538, down 3.7%. 10-year yield 1.83%. Spot gold down 0.1%, 18.05 the ounce. West Texas Intermediate crude up 2.1%, $90.13 a barrel. That's key crude above $90. I'm Charlie Pellet. That is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
All right, Charlie, thank you so much. So Facebook, Snap, just out with
It's
earnings.
called Meta now, okay, Carol?
I'm watching it. It's actually up 1.4% in the after hours.
Well,
yeah.
After
Well, no, don't say Facebook. They'll kill you.
Amazon just out. We're seeing that stock rally in the after hours. Pinterest is like off the charts in the after hours.
Right side 37. Is it going to hit this?
We're talking
35.
James, partner in technology, analyst at Clockwise Capital, joins us on the phone
Who
from
knows?
Miami. James, it's great to have you with us. I want to start with Meta here
Right.
because this is obviously
Well, I hope,
story with making reverberations.
you know, I'm
covered-
just going to say trade safe all
formerly known as Facebook for years. Talk about this inflection.
and get ready for NFP Day.
We can zoom out just one level here and just look at the broader big cap companies in the context of Facebook and realize that we're going through a
And
paradigm
that's what it's all about.
determining which companies can command and control their destinies in a post-COVID world. You know, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they all have their first...
Yeah, I'll say, yeah. You don't have to hold long. Who says that? Who says that's the right way to do it? You know, yeah, crypto, right, I'll hold it because it's long term. You know, some stocks, whatever. But when we're scalping here, the idea is not to hold. The idea is to get in and out and get out before anybody even knows we've taken any money. That's what this is all about. So that's what we're trying to do.
This metaverse vision that they have. So
yeah, this could go down. It's ranging out RSI. Look, but it's got to break. It's got to hit that 34. Then you've got a chance of it being a true sell. This. I mean, for me, I'm not in many positions now. I've done that one trade. That's it. Because of the time of day, this is the dead zone. This could get a move now down in the Asian session. You know. So. But anyway, I hope that's helped everybody. Just a quick hour stream, a bit longer than what I thought. But we will be back tomorrow for a 2 or 3 hour session for the pre-market analysis of NFP, and then we'll trade it and trade for like half an hour afterwards, see what we can get. We might go on a small account, risk it all, you know, blow it, double it, who knows, rather than do my big account, but we'll see how I feel in the morning, feel how sassy I'm feeling, if I get any wins in the morning on the DAX Open. But yeah, thanks for joining and the chat.
What type of timeline you have as an investor. You know, if you have an indefinite timeline, then Facebook at
trade safe.
I mean, it's cheaper than a lot of
Be ready for NFP Day. Ooh, this is our favorite trade.
Which stock can deliver the greatest alpha in the time horizon that you have as an investor.
Like I say, give us a like, please. Please like it. Give us as many likes as you can. Share it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And go to the website www.mohawkforex.com if you want to join our group and everything. Have me as your mentor and the other guys in the team. But again, thank you everybody for watching, and give it a watch back and a like back. Appreciate it all. Have a good night, and we'll see you for NFP tomorrow. So until then, take care and see you tomorrow.